Relic 10 mats might not be particularly rare, but getting a unit up to Relic 10 is a real big struggle, so you want to know that when you place an investment in a Relic 10 unit, that you're making a sensible decision. So I'm here to talk to you today about the top 10 picks that you should be using your Relic 10 mats on. Note that this is based on the time of this recording and of course is only relevant for right now. Also, take it with a pinch of salt. It's not a massive difference dealer, but it can help you, and I'll try to explain why. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video with me, your bold boy Scribe. How the devil are we doing? And welcome to your daily dose of SWGoH. Relic 10 materials, ladies and gentlemen. The chief place that we will get these from is from error shipments. You can get them right up here. You get error currency from doing things such as everybody's favorite game mode, Trollololoseum, with a troll, also known as Joe, the Taz, okay? So, performing well over here gives you lots and lots of really juicy rewards, which you can then use to get things like Relic 10 mats. Now, you don't need loads of Relic 10 mats. You only need enough to put 1 or 2 on as you develop your roster. Nothing right now has a hard requirement for Relic 10 outside of error battles, and those are only really targeted towards the super whale that is looking to get Journey Guide units on a day 1 unlock, okay? However, that being said, Relic 10 does make a difference, and I'm here to help you identify when is the best time to use them. Cool. Let's start off with our list. Who is the number 1 unit, in my opinion, that people should be Relic 10ing first? Any guesses before we go? Answers on a postcard, please. Alright, so the first one, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm going to recommend is Darth Revan, and I'm sure a lot of you will understand why. Yes, it's because this is, above all, a quality of life improvement to your day. On a daily basis, everybody likes to climb in Fleet Arena because Fleet Arena gives you 400 crystals a day. Now, does an R10 Darth Revan stop you from falling in Fleet Arena? Yes and no. It might stop you if there are not many people in your particular fleet shard that have many R10 DRs, because they just can't be bothered dealing with the pain. Does it actually hard counter anything? No. It makes mirror matches and it makes other counters just a little bit more annoying to deal with, okay? And honestly, annoyance is probably the best deterrent when it comes to climbing a fleet. If they know that you've got an R10 DR, they're just like, you know what, mine's R9, I'm just going to skirt around because I have an easier time. Also, if we are looking at things like GAC and we are looking at things like Territory War, you can earn additional banners from this thing being on defense. It doesn't guarantee, it helps you snipe a couple of banners here and there, and sometimes that makes the difference, which can ultimately mean more crystals in your back pocket, ladies and gentlemen. That's why this is useful. Also, when you are climbing in Fleet Arena, if you've got an R10 DR and they haven't got an R10 DR, it is as easy as, start the battle, auto, and you win. And that's kind of nice. It takes the stress out of your fleet climb. So that's why I recommend DR as the first thing. Gives you advantages in GAC and TW, and it makes your life a little bit easier when you're climbing. You shouldn't fall as much inside Fleet Arena, and you'll have an easier time climbing in Fleet Arena, and quality of life is everything as far as I'm concerned. That's why my recommendation is Darth Revan for your very first R10 unit. Coming in second, this is controversial, Rey. I don't care what you say. Rey is a phenomenal GL. She is a really good GL. She primarily gets used on defense because she is the defense queen. And even now, in the current meta, after removing Ezra from that lineup and sort of nerfing him down to the ground, thank you CG, it should have happened, but it should have happened like a year ago, not like a month ago, or however long ago it was. She is still high value, okay? All Galactic Legends, generally speaking, are going to be benefiting from additional relic levels because of the way they work and because of this Galactic Legend unique. This unique will give them 10% max health and max protection per relic amplifier level, okay? So just getting Rey to R10 is going to give her 10% more health, and she is a health-based Galactic Legend. Her first special, Lifeblood over here, is able to pass bonus protection, which is based on max health, okay? Keeping her nice and survivable just means the whole team is more survivable. Also, any mastery gains that many Galactic Legends get, and Rey is no different, is going to be enhanced by having a higher base mastery. Side note to this, if anybody wants to know or wants to understand about the siphon mechanic and would like me to do a video explaining everything about siphon, please let me know in the comments section down below and I'll try and help you out. It is a simple enough mechanic that exists in the game, but it is also one that is widely misunderstood and it's very nuanced. So let me know. Anyway, what I mean is any sort of mastery gains are usually percentile based, and having a higher base mastery just means that those mastery gains that you get are going to improve things all the same. Also, you look at things like Sudden Whirlwind over here. This does 7% more damage per Relic amplifier level, so if you've got Relic 10 compared to Relic 9, that Whirlwind is going to do an instance of additional massive damage, so rather 7% more damage for having Relic 10. It all adds up, it all adds and compounds to make Rey an even better GL, okay? So yes, most GLs will benefit. I personally like Rey. I know that she's always on defense, she's always going to try and steal a powerful light side unit whenever it gets released, and she's always got a datachron that will benefit her in PvP game modes, which makes her an ideal candidate, in my opinion, for your second Relic 10. Going on to number 3, Pirate King Hondo is going to be my next choice. I love this guy. This guy is irritating as all hell. He's just had an insanely powerful datachron with the Vane datachron, and there's always going to be something that benefits him. He, much like Rey, is a galactic legend, so he's going to benefit from the Galactic Legend unique, giving him more max health and max protection. He is also an Evasion Mastery Galactic Legend. I don't know why CG thought that was a good idea for anything, but that means Relic 10, higher levels of evasion. When he starts using that first special, he's gaining more base mastery. It's not a percentile based, but it is more base mastery, which means his evasion is going to ramp quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. It's also going to give him a lot more max health, and he is already quite a chunky Galactic Legend. More relic levels, more mastery, more stats is going to be a real good thing for Pirate King Hondo. He's also a Galactic Legend that you're going to want at Relic 9 anyway because of the Smuggler's Run 3 event, which is by far the greatest mod event in the game. It is 4 times more effective than Jabba's Smuggler's Run 2 when it runs and doesn't get removed inexplicably from the event cadence, okay? So this guy, you want him at Relic 9 anyway. It's a hop, skip, and a jump to get him to Relic 10. Boom, he's a great choice for your third Relic 10. Next up, everybody's failure, Lord Failure. This one might also, once again, sound a little controversial, and you'd be like, why do you place this guy higher than Rey? Or not Rey, Leia. Because I do. Relic 10 Lord Vader does have a caveat, okay? If you are doing Relic 10 Lord Vader, you need to have, at the bare minimum, Relic 9 across all your dark side clones. Don't be using like the old school Maul Royal Guard nonsense. You need to have a high level of relic investment in your clones. This guy ramps mastery like nobody else. Well, maybe Slacker. In terms of relic level investment. The higher the level of relic investment, this guy is going to get unkillable and start dealing monstrous damage quickly. His Unshackled Emotions, second special over here, essentially this ability deals 2.5% more damage and all dark side allies gain 1% stacking mastery every single time he uses this. Yes, it's got a 5% cooldown, but you pair it with his ultimate, and when he uses his ultimate, he is going to be siphoning 75% mastery, or rather, he will gain 75% mastery from this ability. It's kind of huge. He has a damage-based mastery, okay? So gains accuracy, damage, and defense penetration. Is a Galactic Legend, so he's gaining additional stats. 10% max health and max protection. That max protection converts to his max health, making this guy insanely chunky, okay? Because that protection is going to go whoop straight up to that max health, and he's going to be so hard to take down. It's going to time out things, going to help block things like Bo-Katan Mandalore from being able to take down Lord Vader, and if you have lots of Relic 10s on your clones, this guy and his team are going to be terrifying to behold. Okay. Ever so quickly here, ladies and gentlemen, if I could just take a moment of your time. When I take a look at the analytics of my channel, I am saddened to see, I'm heartbroken even to a certain degree, that only about 50% of you currently watching, you people at home right now, are subscribed to the channel. If I could ask you a massive favor, could you please just hit that subscribe button, help me grow this channel, help me reach more people, help more people, and in return, I promise to try and give you the best, most relevant and useful SWGoH content that you could possibly find on the internet. And if I can't do that, at least you can laugh about the fact that I am follicularly challenged. That's a mouthful. Thank you. I will say that our next choice being Leia is very contentious. You could easily push Leia higher than any of the other galactic legends. She is a massively valuable R10. She's a tank for one. She's our first one that we've recommended over here that is a tank, okay? Why is it important that we stipulate that she's a tank? Well, tanks gain big boosts to protection at Relic 9 and Relic 10. They gain a large jump over there, which then gets amplified by the fact that it's a galactic legend and by the fact that you're going to be having lots and lots of mods. Now, Leia in particular, she does not use her protection as much as her health. She is more of a health-based tank, but we are still gaining that additional big chunk. She is also arguably probably the most effective overall PvP unit in the game, or team in the game. Probably the best in terms of overall balance between offense and defense. Generally just annoying to use, okay? So she is a high value unit. You're wanting her to be at least Relic 9 anyway. She's a galactic legend and a very, very good one. So I would say Leia Organa, any of these GLs, you can move them up and down based on the needs of your roster. Next up, our second GL tank in Glat. She's had a little bit of a boost recently with that rebalancing and CG re-nerfing Ezra, so that we basically guarantee that Ezra gets stuck with his pal over here, Ahsoka Tano. She's also had a little bit of an uplift to stop TM train teams like Finzori from dealing with her. She is also a really good timeout galactic legend. She can basically bring you to the brink of timing out because she is so chunky and she constantly counterattacks, and those counterattacks just run down the timer. Pair her with a very high defensive Cron or something with lots of crit avoidance and lots of protection or lots of health, and you will find yourself facing off against a literal brick wall when trying to play GAC. Is she unkillable? No, but none of the units in the game are unkillable. However, she is a very solid contender for another Relic 10 unit. Next up, it's everybody's favorite galactic legend, Bane. He's not a galactic legend according to the tags, but in every other sense, he basically is. At this point, any Relic 10s we talk about are incredibly luxury based, alright? You do not need a Relic 10 Bane, you don't really need a Relic 10 anything, they are just nice to haves. The reason I chose Bane is because he's just a monster. Incredibly survivable, does boatloads of damage, alright? You can use him to solo, more or less solo, any galactic legend in the game, nearly. Okay, having Relic 10 just means he's got another additional big jump to his health. Check it out, we get an extra 2,500 or 2 and a bit thousand health, which is then going to be compounded when you add your mods. He's going to gain that additional damage boost, he's going to gain additional armor penetration, he's going to gain everything that you see here, and that's just going to make his mastery sapping over here even better when he's using that siphon mechanic, okay? Making him more survivable, making him deal more damage, giving him an extra level of Relic Delta to do more damage again and take less incoming is just kind of a perfect storm for our boy Bane here. Next up, we're going to get angry with the only known butt plug in the entire game, and that's going to be Maul Hate Fueled. This guy is obviously one of a more recent legendary events. It's only returned once. We can probably expect to see it at the end of this era as well, potentially. So hard to get. But overall, his team with Stranger and Starkiller is still very, very annoying to this day, and having a high level of tankiness on this guy from the additional Relic Delta, the additional stat boosts from R10, just make this guy a massive pain in the bum, butt plug, because he's so tanky. This guy is one of the most ungodly tanky units in the game. He can really just hold out, and he just gets massive amounts of defense and bonus protection and all this good stuff, and he's got a revive mechanic, so he just sort of comes back and keeps the battle going and flowing. and he does a bit of damage, so more relic levels, more good stuff. Higher number, big pew pew, make me feel good, Maul angry, me okay with it though, alright? That's how I like to talk about this guy. He's a great investment. He does have an error battle. It's outside of its cadence now, so it's probably only going to turn up once or twice a year, but being able to do that top tier is going to give you 1,000 crystals, 5 server motors, 5 good keypads, and 5 droid brains. It is a good event. You're not really going to recoup that cost now at this point. It would take years, but it's still nice to have. Next up on our Conquest train list, one of the best Conquest units in the game, Queenie Amidala. She's great. She's really great, and the reason I say R10 for her is because she summons an additional unit in the Bodyguard. Bodyguard stats, or summoned unit stats in general, scale off the stats of the summoner. So the higher the relic levels on the summoner, the higher the stats on the Bodyguard. Queen Amidala's team as well, with Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon Jinn, is already a phenomenal team that takes down Galactic Legends. Very, very good, defensively speaking as well. More relic levels makes this team just objectively better. Also, most people tend to have taken Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon Jinn up to Relic 9 because of the Duel of the Fates Assault battle, which gives you more Girder keypads. So if you take her nice and high, you're going to be in this perfect storm of lots of relic levels on one team, giving you a very strong either defensive or offensive option in your roster. Highly recommend Queenie. And my final unit, and people are going to scream here, Ben Solo. Underestimate this guy at your peril. This man, when modded right, mine's not R10 yet, so I'm not modding him right. At the highest end, if you pump this guy full of offense, he is absolutely terrifying. Relic 10, give him that extra relic delta, give him the extra stat gains, max him out with offense when he does family legacy over here. It is an AoE armor shred attack that in GAC is going to attack under protection. He will wipe boards. Okay? Pair that with the fact that he's going to be with Galactic Legend Rey. Another scary AoE damage dealer. So he attacks under protection, 4-turn heal immunity on people with his first special. Rey comes in with either a whirlwind or an ultimate. People are going to die. I highly recommend it. I really want to do this one myself. I want to ignore my own list and just pump him up the priority list to just throw him in there because he is scary at high relic levels. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to about do it for today's episode. Let me know what you think of this particular list, and I would like you to tell me what list you think is the priority order for Relic 10s. Hit me with it, baby. Like the video, give me a comment, and I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.